Meeting to order. I want to welcome all those on YouTube who are call in and want to witness what we're going to see today. I'll tell you this, I think this will be probably one of the biggest days this community college system has ever seen. They can't? All right, Miss Mass, we are live, and like most meetings, we're going to start with a military engagement. We've got Piedmont Community College here today, and relatively new president, Kevin Lee, and the chair of their board, Lieutenant Colonel, retired Tony Foster from Piedmont Community College for our military engagement, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody please stand. Really appreciate you being here today.
It's my pleasure, Chair Looney. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of Piedmont Community College, who will share a brief military engagement update.
Good morning, Chair Looney, members of the State Board, President Cox. Pleasure to see you again this week, sir. My name is Dr. Kevin Lee, and I serve as the president of Piedmont Community College. When approached about presenting the military moment for us, Amy made the mistake of saying, make it your own. I think we just did that. And Piedmont Community College is a small rural institution that serves Person and Caswell counties, just north of Durham and Alamance counties. We don't have a military base nearby like some of our sister colleges. However, out of the total population of both counties, around 7%, which is about 3,500 of our population, are veterans. Those veterans are predominantly of the Vietnam era, followed by the Gulf War era. Our campus of just under 4,000 credit and non-credit students is proud to serve veterans, roughly about 25 to 30 in each semester. We serve them through VA benefits, our North Carolina National Guard tuition assistance, and dedicated veteran service like our Student Veterans of America chapter. Now, since Amy gave me instructions to make this my own, her mistake again, I thought I'd take advantage of that opportunity. We have many leaders of our Great 58 and local trustees that have also served in the military themselves. I wanted to showcase how that experience in the military translates into leading our community colleges. Today, I want to take a moment to reflect on something that has deeply influenced both my leadership journey as president of Piedmont Community College and the leadership of our board chair who you just met. That's military service. Both of us learned early in life that military does far more than just train individuals for a mission. It shapes character, it develops discipline, accountability, humility, resilience, and a commitment to serving something that is larger than yourself. Those lessons do not disappear when a uniform comes off. In many ways, they become even more important in leadership roles within our communities. For my board chair, it was the United States Army. For me, it was the United States Air Force. One of the greatest lessons the military teaches is servant leadership. Effective leaders are not focused on themselves. They're focused on success, the safety, and the growth of people around them, first and foremost. In higher education, specifically our community college system, that translates directly into how we serve our students, faculty, staff, and our communities. Every decision we make should ultimately improve opportunities for others at all costs. The military also teaches the importance of mission focus. And as one of the Great 58, our mission is incredibly important, as you all well know. We're changing lives through education, workforce development, and opportunity. Much like military service, success as a president requires teamwork, trust, clear communication, and the ability to adapt under pressure while remaining focused on an objective. Another trait that the military experience develops is accountability. In the military, people depend on you to do your job well. Excuses rarely matter, and that mindset carries over into leadership. When leading an institution or governing as a board member, accountability creates trust, credibility, stability, and progress. Military service also teaches leaders how to remain calm during uncertainty. You learn making decisions with incomplete information, maybe like a state budget sometimes. Support your team during challenges, and you continue moving forward despite any obstacles that may arise. Community colleges face many challenges today. Workforce shortages, funding pressures, changing technologies, and evolving student needs, and those leadership lessons are invaluable to us. At Piedmont Community College, we are proud to serve many military-affiliated students, veterans, and their families. We understand that veterans bring unique strengths into our classrooms, our workplaces, and leadership positions across the state because they've already demonstrated that commitment, that sacrifice, that adaptability, and their perseverance. For me personally, military experience helped shape how I approach leadership every day on the job. It reinforced the importance of consistency, accountability, teamwork, and showing up for people, especially during those difficult moments that may arise. Those lessons continue to guide me as we ensure that PCC remains our hometown college. For our board chair specifically, military experience has helped shape a leadership style grounded in integrity, preparation, and teamwork, as well as service to others. Strong governance at our college requires leaders who can listen, collaborate, and make difficult decisions when necessary, and always keep the mission at the center. Those are traits that military service naturally develops and traits that our community college leadership teams across the state of North Carolina reap the rewards from. So I would now like to introduce my Board of Trustees Chairman, Lieutenant Colonel Retired Tony Foster.
Thank you. Thank you. My 28-year career in the United States Army provided me the opportunity to lead at every level while serving both across the United States and internationally. Throughout my military service, I was entrusted with managing complex operations, supervising large organizations, developing strategic plans, and leading diverse teams through periods of growth and change. Those experiences strengthened my commitment to accountability, collaboration, disciplined decision-making, and mission-focused leadership. In addition to operational leadership, my service also allowed me to invest in education and mentorship. As a battalion commander, assistant professor of military science, and later on, a professor of military science, I worked closely with emerging leaders and students, helping prepare them for success through leadership development, guidance, and personal growth. Those experiences deepened my appreciation for the transformative power of education and the importance of creating opportunities for future generations. My academic background complements those experiences. I am an alumnus of Rockingham Community College. I transferred to North Carolina A&T State University, and where I earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Industrial Technology and Manufacturing Engineering, and a Master's of Science degree in Adult Education. Together, these educational experiences provided both technical and knowledge and a strong understanding of workforce preparation, adult learning, and student development. Beyond my military and academic experiences, my continued commitment to public service and community engagement reflects my passion for strengthening educational opportunities and supporting community growth. I believe strongly in servant leadership, strategic collaboration, and building partnerships that positively impact students, families, and the broader communities. My experiences have shaped my leadership philosophy and prepared me to contribute thoughtfully, collaboratively, and effectively in support of Piedmont Community College's mission of student success, workforce development, and community impact. In summary, I am a witness to how community colleges are empowering lives today, transforming futures tomorrow, and strengthening communities forever. Chair Looney, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the initiative. And sir, I salute you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Colonel Foster, and we really appreciate you being here today. And I want our guests to know doesn't start and end here in our boardroom. We have a deep relationship with the National Guard today. We're working on comprehensive plans with General Todd Hunt of the National Guard here in North Carolina, make sure our students are aware of the opportunity in the National Guard. We're also working with Secretary Millett, the Secretary of Military Affairs in our state as well. So we have a deep commitment to driving awareness and supporting our military in our state. I believe we're probably got more bases than any state in this country, and the partnership with the community college system is only going to get stronger. So we greatly appreciate you all being here today and doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Okay, we have more good news this morning. I'd like now to invite President Cox to the podium for two very special funding announcements.
All right. Good morning, Chair Looney, members of the State Board, and esteemed guests. Today, we are making a pivotal moment in the expansion of our groundbreaking statewide student success initiative we call Boost. Boost, already supported by a record $35.6 million grant from Arnold Ventures, is successfully replicating the proven CUNY ASAP model, which has doubled student graduation rates all over the country. Boost works because it provides our students with timely and relevant support, dedicated advising for our students, and incentives to accelerate their education. Our goal is clear: to meet North Carolina's most urgent workforce needs by adapting the CUNY ASAP model to our state's Propel NC industries. The confidence in this model is growing, and we are thrilled to be able today to announce not just one, but two major philanthropic investments that amplify Boost impact. One, to expand the model on an existing Boost campus, and another to adapt the Boost program to serve short-term credential students at three yet to be determined North Carolina community colleges. Our first announcement will expand Boost's footprint at Wake Tech. We are energized to name Keenan Charitable Trust as the first funder to expand our Boost model. Keenan Charitable Trust is a national foundation headquartered in Chapel Hill with nearly $1 billion in assets. Since 1965, they've awarded more than 2,200 grants totaling nearly $843 million. Here today to make this announcement is Mr. Robbie Russell, grant officer at the Trust. Robbie had an extensive career in the banking industry before joining Keenan Charitable Trust as grant officer in 2023. I'm honored to invite Mr. Russell to the podium to share details of this gift. Robbie? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jeff, thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction, and it's an honor for me to be with you today. The Keenan Charitable Trust mission is to empower human potential through education and whole community health. We seek innovative projects, particularly here in North Carolina. We look forward to high impact investments. We look for programs that enforce the credibility for student success and have clear, proven results. Our founder, Mr. Keenan, had a revered quote: "An education is the most cherished gift that any individual can ever receive." This is our guiding star, and this is why we have been so impressed with the Boost program. Boost is not just another initiative, it's a commitment to a proven model. We know that the success of the CUNY system, that is the framework, is capable of doubling student graduation rates. This level of impact is why the program initially secured a record $35.6 million grant from the Arnold Ventures Fund. The credibility of the Boost model is undeniable. To further this essential work, the Keenan Charitable Trust is proud to join this partnership and make this commitment. Today, the Keenan Charitable Trust is investing $3 million to expand the Boost model to Wake Tech. Together, this partnership will help some 450 students persist and earn their healthcare degree. This partnership aligns perfectly with our strategic plan at the Keenan Charitable Trust on human thriving, forging new ways for individuals and families to gain access to health care who otherwise would not. Since Wake Tech is already participating with Arnold's Ventures Boost College, they're an ideal partner to rapidly expand the program and achieve significant results. There is an urgent, growing demand for skilled healthcare professionals in our state. By applying the comprehensive Boost model, we are confident we can greatly increase the number of students who successfully earn these crucial, high-demand credentials. We are proud to be an early architect of this statewide solution and the first to expand the Boost model. It is now my pleasure to turn it over to President Rawls from Wake Tech to discuss what this investment means to their students.
Well, thank you, Mr. Russell, and to the Keenan Charitable Trust and to our board today. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. This grant is truly transformative for our students who are pursuing valuable healthcare degrees at Wake Tech. We're grateful for this gift that will allow us to extend the proven Boost model to our healthcare students. Now, as an existing Arnold Ventures Boost College, we've seen firsthand the incredible potential of this program in just its first year. This is a model that works, and it's delivering quantifiable success. The demand for skilled workforce professionals is urgent. As the primary healthcare higher education provider for North Carolina's largest county, Wake Tech is rapidly expanding to meet our county's growing healthcare needs. This includes a significant expansion of our Perry Health Sciences campus, which includes construction currently underway of one of the nation's most comprehensive simulation hospitals, and the recent initiation of new programs in areas like respiratory therapy, neurodiagnostic technology, and sonography. The Keenan Charitable Trust $3 million investment to expand Boost to our healthcare students further contributes to our colleges, to Wake Tech's strategic healthcare education investments, and allows us to quickly prepare more students for high-demand healthcare careers, directly supporting Propel NC. Now, Wake Tech's embraced the Boost model because it synergistically integrates with and adds to our unique care team advising model that organizes advisors, student success coaches, and career coaches across 13 different job sectors, including healthcare. And many of our care team leaders are with us today. This introduction of our care team model has contributed to the highest student retention rates in Wake Tech's history, and we believe that the Boost model will further enhance these results. It's a monumental step today for Wake Tech and our students, but also the future of North Carolina's healthcare workforce and models that will support growing the healthcare workforce across the North Carolina Community College system. So I want to thank the leaders of the community college system and the foundation leadership team here who cultivated this instrumental gift and brought this partnership with the Keenan Charitable Trust forward. Also, I want to acknowledge and thank our Wake Tech team and our Wake Tech Foundation team. I have our board chair, Dr. Sandra Williams, is with us today, as well as Mr. Will Smith, who chairs our Wake Tech Foundation board, as well as many Wake Techians who will lead this implementation and make sure that we succeed. They've been involved in carefully constructing the plan to expand the Boost model, which for us moves into different workforce sectors in our care team model, and we'll hit the ground running this fall in healthcare. So we hope to make the system and the Keenan Charitable Trust proud by being the first college to expand the Boost model on a college. And so thank you to Chair Looney and President Cox. Back to you.
Thank you both, Mr. Russell and President Rawls. We're thrilled to be able to expand Boost to serve more students on Wake Tech's campus. Now turning to our next Boost Aligned announcement today, we are not finished yet. As we look toward the future of workforce development, there's a lot of excitement surrounding the launch of the Workforce Pell program on July 1st. It's a monumental step forward for our country but we have to be honest about its limitations. Even with this new federal expansion, the reality is that many of North Carolina's most critical, high-demand healthcare programs, the ones that get a student from the classroom to career in just a few months, will still not qualify for the workforce Pell assistance. We cannot wait for the federal policy to catch up with our state's urgent needs on some of our workforce pipelines. Right now, North Carolina is staring down a massive healthcare crisis with a projected shortfall of nearly 12,500 registered nurses by 2033 and an estimated 9,070 certified nursing assistant positions going unfilled annually. Our hospitals are feeling the strain, and our students are feeling the financial burden of programs that fall through the cracks of traditional financial aid. That's why we aren't waiting. Today, we're announcing a proactive solution to bridge this specific gap in the industry. To share more about how a major healthcare leader is stepping up to meet this need, I'm honored to introduce Heidi Chan, Market President of AmeriHealth Caritas in North Carolina. Heidi?
Thank you, President Cox and the State Board. As a Medicaid health plan, we at AmeriHealth Caritas North Carolina know that a person's health care is determined by much more than what happens in the doctor's office. We know that the vast majority of health outcomes are driven by social factors, and chief among them are economic stability and access to quality education. Addressing those two things can change the trajectory of people's lives, equipping them and empowering them to care for themselves and for their families. As President Cox mentioned, the healthcare shortage in North Carolina isn't just a policy problem, it's a healthcare crisis. We see the strain on our providers and the healthcare access issues that our members face every day. But we also see an incredible pool of untapped talent in our communities, people who have the heart and the drive to serve their community, but maybe don't see a path forward because they can't afford childcare, or they have no reliable transportation, or they just can't afford to leave a low-paying job today to pursue something better. These are barriers that most of us in this room have not had to face. It's why I'm really honored to be here and make this special announcement. Today, AmeriHealth Caritas North Carolina is announcing a $3 million community investment to launch Bridge, a first-of-its-kind adaptation to the Boost model for students seeking short-term healthcare credentials. Bridge will be piloted in up to 3 to-be-determined North Carolina community colleges. This investment will enable up to 1,000 more students to get the training they need, not just to get jobs, but to start careers here in North Carolina. Our investment is a targeted commitment, and we're concentrating our support to focus on students in high-demand, short-term healthcare tracks. So think certified nurse assistants, EMTs, phlebotomy techs, who are currently ineligible for federal Pell Grants and may still be ineligible for the expanded workforce Pell that's on the horizon. By adapting the existing proven Boost model, this investment will provide flexible, last dollar, if you will, supports to these students. We aren't just paying for books, we're helping to cover the life expenses that could derail a student's path to graduation and the high demand, high earning job potential that is waiting for them. I'm proud as a community college alum as well to stand here with the North Carolina Community College system. You all are certainly experts in transforming lives like mine and creating success. We're proud to step in and provide financial support to your students, literally cross the bridge to help secure healthcare jobs in just a few months. The true impact of this investment will be seen through the eyes of the students who enter the program and those that support them on their journey. I'm excited to welcome one of those mentors today, Ms. Tanisha Payne, who proudly serves as the Boost Director at Johnston Community College, where she oversees the program that coaches students toward achieving their dreams every day.
Thank you, Ms. Chant. For the past year, I've worked as our campus adopted and implemented Boost, specifically supporting our students in two-year degree programs at Johnston Community College. I have seen firsthand how this model changes lives. One student who immediately comes to mind is Marisa Physiavon McNelly. Pardon me while I get emotional. She is a wonderful student. She has a story. Marisa is a determined biotechnology student at JCC whose story reflects the absolute necessity of this support. As a mother of four and the spouse of a disabled Army veteran, Marisa balances a mountain of responsibilities. After she was accepted, she actually began to doubt whether returning to school was even possible. Between the financial strain of childcare and the specialized lab supplies her course required, she considered not registering for classes at all at JCC. Then Marisa learned about Boost. Through the funding and support that Boost provided, Marisa was able to move forward with confidence. Our team provided Marisa with financial assistance for childcare and covered her lab supplies, allowing her to focus on her education and her family's future. Marisa's journey is the perfect example of how Boost turns what once felt impossible into a reality for many students. Boost works. We have already seen it at JCC and across the state. However, as I've celebrated those wins with degree seekers like Marisa, I've watched our short-term credential students walk past my office without the same safety net. These fast-track students face the exact same life barriers, but with even less time to recover from a crisis. If a CNA student loses childcare for even 1 week, they miss their clinical hours and the whole program is lost. By bringing the Boost model to these short-term tracks through the Bridge pilot, we are finally giving our most vulnerable, high-speed learners the same level of advocacy we give our degree students. We are telling them, your short-term credential is just as vital to this state as a two-year degree, and we are going to make sure that you finish. I am heartened to see the Boost model expand at Wake Tech, and I want to thank AmeriHealth Caritas, North Carolina, for being the first funder to adapt this proven model to serve our state's short-term students. These investments will profoundly impact our students' lives and our healthcare workforce. Next, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Randall Johnson, Chair of the North Carolina Community Colleges Foundation Board of Directors. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Payne, for those amazing stories. We appreciate that. It's truly inspiring to hear about the impact of Boost from the team who works directly with students every day at our 15 initial Boost colleges. The stories of students successfully overcoming barriers thanks to Boost are the best evidence we could ask for the importance of Boost. The success and impact of the model demonstrated by this combined $6 million in new philanthropic support is nothing short of inspirational. These investments show powerful validation for this model and the system's vision and the foundation's mission to connect visionary philanthropy with critical student needs. These two gifts are especially meaningful as they count directly toward the foundation's $75 million SOAR campaign. The foundation is currently in the latter half of this campaign, having already secured more than $60 million to ensure student success and system growth across the state. To the Keenan Charitable Trust and AmeriHealth Caritas, North Carolina, thank you for this pioneering commitment to our students and for seeing the potential of the Boost model. And Arnold Ventures, thank you for being the first funder to bring this proven program to the #1 state for workforce and business development in the country. These investments go well beyond dollars. They're transformative lifelines that ensure our students can finish their degrees and now certificates so they can step into high-demand industry jobs and careers that drive North Carolina's economy. Importantly, I also want to acknowledge and thank the John M. Belk Endowment as they provided the first $1 million in support for our existing Boost colleges to help with their matching gift. The foundation is proud to partner with our 58 community colleges, the state board, and the system office in ensuring the crucial work continues to expand and adapt across the state. Now I'll turn it back to President Cox. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. We're so grateful for the investments announced here today and the vote of confidence that they give our system, including our 58 colleges. I want to give a couple of quick notes on just as far as next steps. I'm sure some of our president colleagues are listening in and want to know how they might be able to access some of this wonderful opportunity. The $3 million boost expansion at Wake Tech, powered by the Keenan Charitable Trust, is already underway. Wake Tech is hiring 2.5 full-time employees over the next 3 years and is ready to expand the boost to their healthcare students this fall. So that one is well underway with Dr. Rawls' leadership. The $3 million boost adaptation program we're calling Bridge, powered by AmeriHealth Caritas, North Carolina, will adapt the boost model to 3 North Carolina community colleges that will be selected after a rigorous RFP process. We'll work closely with our colleges and national experts to design the program and then release the RFP this coming fall in order to select 3 colleges by the end of 2026. I'd like to acknowledge our strong partners at the NC State Belk Center for Community College Leadership and Research. They will serve as the evaluation partner for both of these new initiatives announced today in the same way they're currently serving as the evaluation partner for Arnold Ventures Boost program underway already at 15 of our colleges. Their importance in these initiatives cannot be overstated. They will monitor participating colleges' progress toward goals and predefined success metrics to better inform our system in future expansion and adaptation efforts of Boost. Finally, as I near the end of my time as president of our system, I cannot imagine a better way to close my tenure than with this kind of monumental announcement today. This confidence in the Boost model is a testament to the dedication of our college leaders, our staff, the North Carolina Community Colleges Foundation, this board, and our system office. I'm fully confident that the foundation will continue this essential work with my successor to secure the future of our system. Today, we've announced a total of $6 million in support of both expanding and adapting Boost. This proven model would not be possible without that initial Arnold Ventures gift, and we extend our sincere gratitude to them as well as our friends at the John M. Belk Endowment. The success we have announced today is not by chance. It's a signal that the Boost model is strong, proven, and a case that it is ripe for expansion statewide. Chairman Looney, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
I'll tell you, this is a huge day for our community college system, and our board wants to thank AmeriHealth Caritas North Carolina and the Keenan Charitable Trust for their transformative investments in expanding and adapting the Boost model. With this support, we're taking a monumental step that will impact a combined 1,500 students. Before we move on, I'd like to invite any board members to make any comments about either of the gifts or any questions they have for our guests. Yes, Lieutenant Governor.
I just want to say this really speaks to how you believe in the community college system. And this is exactly what our students need. Something to help with when gaps occur in childcare or in getting a car repaired. This is how we're going to get people over the finish line. And so I sincerely appreciate it.
Any other comments? I've got one final comment. I said this morning was epic. We have relaunched our foundation here at the community college system and started these check presentations at the start of our board meetings. And I want to congratulate President Cox, Randall, and Katie Luvis. Over the last 12, 13 months, over $60 million has been contributed to this community college system. That's a hell of a lot of money, all right? Plus, colleges like Bladen Community College received $12 million from Mackenzie Scott. And our total gifts are close to $100 million today. There is something magical going on at the community college system here in North Carolina, and it's about producing results for our citizens and our students. So I can't thank you enough for these gifts. We're going to put them to good use. We're going to amplify these messages across our state. And Randall, I want you to be recognized. President Cox and Katie, would you stand up because you'd led the charge. Now, the only thing I'll tell you is you sandbagged me because we had a campaign number. You wanted a 25 million. And they went, we'll get to 50. How about 75? So here we are, Randall. You're at 70. We're at 60 on a 75 target. So I learned my lesson, buddy. So let's recognize you guys. Thanks for all you do. Okay, Miss Mass, could you now read the roll, please?
Absolutely. Mr. Tom Looney, Mr. John Kane, the Honorable Chaz Beasley, Ms. Paula Benson, State Treasurer Brad Briner, or Mr. Eric Nasbit. Thank you. Ms. Lisa Eastep, Labor Commissioner Luke Farley, or Chris Bullard.
Present for him.
Thank you. Ms. Stacy Griffin, Lieutenant Governor Rachel Hunt.
Here.
Mr. Jeffrey Lang. Dr. David Lowry. Mr. Chris Lumsden. Mr. Bill McBrayer.
Present.
Dr. Dale McGinnis. Mr. Robbie Moore. Mr. Scott Ottman.
Here.
Thank you. The Honorable David Price. Mr. Bannock Scott. The Honorable Sam Searcy.
Here.
Mr. Ray Trapp.
Present.
Sarah West. Mr. Terry Jurgen. We have a quorum, sir.
Great. Thank you, Miss Mass. Miss Carpenter, could you please read the ethics statement?
Yes, sir. Good morning and welcome to the May 15, 2026 meeting of the State Board of Community Colleges. It is my duty to remind the members of the board that it is your responsibility to avoid all conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest as defined in the North Carolina ethics law. As public servants, it is your duty to monitor, evaluate, and manage your personal, financial, and professional affairs in such a way as to ensure the absence of conflicts or potential conflicts. Does any member know of any conflicts or potential conflict of interest with respect to any matter coming before the board this morning? Noting none, sir.
Thank you. So approval of the minutes. The minutes have been presented. Are any changes or questions from the April 17th, 2026 minutes?
Move to approve as written.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Approval of the agenda. The executive committee, which I chair, we have no changes. We move on to programs and student success. Ms. West. Thank you. Ms. Eastep, finance. State Board Policy and Governance, again, Ms. Eastep.
Yes, we have moved 5 items from future action to for action.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. McBrayer.
Yes, sir. Personnel has 6 items for closed session.
And I will be adding 2 additional items for closed session. Oh, wasn't on the, Mr. Ottman, any changes for Transformation Committee?
No changes, Chairman.
Thanks for, and accountability and audit. I think we just did that one. Yeah. It was Miss Eastep. And Mr. Lang. Thank you, Mr. Lang. Yeah, I know. How could I forget the loudest guy in the room? Okay. Okay, the motion to approve the agenda. We have a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay. All right. Do it. I'm going to get to it. Okay. Are there any questions about the consent agenda? I have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second? Griffin, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite back up to the podium Lieutenant Colonel Tony Foster, who's Chair of the Board of Trustees at Piedmont Community College, to introduce his new president, Dr. Kevin Lee. Welcome again.
Thank you, Chair Looney. Place this thing in. It is my pleasure, my distinct honor to introduce the sixth president of Piedmont Community College, Dr. Kevin Lee. Dr. Kevin Lee began his tenure on August 4th, 2025. Dr. Lee has 26 years of experience in higher education, advancing student success, building relationships, and workforce development, all in the North Carolina Community College system. Dr. Lee worked at Guilford Technical Community College for 19 years. While at Guilford Technical, Dr. Lee taught computer science classes for 8 years and then served as chair of the computer technology program for 11 years. In 2019, Dr. Lee joined Brunswick Community College as chair of STEM and trades programs, where he oversaw all technical AAS degree programs at Brunswick Community College. In 2022, Dr. Lee was selected as Vice President of Academic Affairs and Chief Academic Officer at Brunswick Community College, where he provided institutional leadership for all curriculum program offerings to include human resources, accreditation, institutional effectiveness, distance learning, Title IX, dual enrollment, and public safety. He didn't do much. Within the first 9 months of his presidency at Piedmont Community College, the college has been awarded more than $2.5 million. In new grant funding, we have $8.7 million still under consideration, which is an all-time record for our institution. Enrollment has also continued to break records as well, with a 9.5% increase this year. He's been working. Dr. Lee is celebrated for his innovative approaches to community college education and commitment to the success of every student. He has a proven history of enrollment growth and grant funding, all while maintaining exceptional institutional performance along the way. A native resident of Swansburg, North Carolina, he is a first-generation college graduate and a proud product of the North Carolina Community College system. Dr. Lee is committed to innovation, community impact, lifelong learning, and ensuring education remains a tool for empowering individuals with opportunities that would not exist otherwise, all while advancing local economic growth. Dr. Lee holds associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees in information technology and a doctorate in educational leadership. He and his wife, Jennifer, have 3 sons, Jake, Jeremy, and Dylan, and 1 granddaughter, Nora, who runs everything. So please help me welcome our new president, Dr. Kevin Lee.
Wow, right? Slide this up a little bit. No more introductions. He's already done all that. Like many of our students that we see every day, my path to college was not perfectly mapped out from the beginning. I grew up with a strong work ethic, farming on one side of my family and fishing on the other side. 30 years ago, almost to the day today, I was at Coastal Carolina Community College in Jacksonville. I was that student sitting in the parking lot for 10 to 15 minutes in my car before I figured out what I needed to do to enroll. I was just telling myself all the reasons why I shouldn't go to college. I was telling myself I wasn't smart enough. I never finished what I started. I don't even know how I'm going to pay for my books. I had a small fistful of GI Bill money, and I needed to figure out how to best use it to set myself up for a career. When asked by the career counselor at Coastal what I wanted to major in, I hadn't really thought that far ahead yet. And I just simply said, anything that's got air conditioner. She responded and said, I think computers are going to be around for a while, so that might be a good choice for you. She was right. And I told her I'd never had a computer before. We couldn't afford those, but I took shorthand one time. Didn't really translate. So a few weeks later, I showed up for my first class where I learned that I also needed to come up with $150 for a textbook to the class. I'd already paid that with tuition. I didn't know anything about higher ed. I was a first gen. I talked to my instructor after the class, and I told her that I might have to drop my class because I don't have the extra money for that book. She must have saw something in me. I have no idea what. But she gave me a desk copy of a programming book and told me to give her class a try. And as long as I gave it my all, give the book back to her at the end of the semester. And that's where I fell in love with technology. That's what served as a foundation for my entire career. To everyone here today, that message should resonate well with you. All it takes is one person to believe in a student, a little bit of support, and you got the power to change their entire life trajectory. My story is not unique. It's just another day in the life of what's the greatest community college system in the entire world and what we do across our great state of North Carolina. This is our same approach at Piedmont Community College. We knock down barriers for our students. We provide opportunities that would not exist without our colleges. Our region is growing tremendously. New companies like Microsoft and Voltage are moving into our rural counties. Duke Energy is expanding its clean energy operations in our county, providing 2 hydrogen-capable natural gas combined cycle units. For our communities, this means jobs. Employers need skilled employees now more than ever before. Our students need pathways that lead us not just to jobs, but to meaningful careers that better lives. Like our 57 other community colleges, we are ensuring that when opportunity knocks in our region, that Piedmont Community College is going to open that door for them. That means continuing to strengthen our workforce programs, expanding partnerships and apprenticeships with our local industries, continuing to partner with our great 58 sister institutions wherever we can, supporting first generation and low income students who may not see college as part of their future, or not yet at least. And we're building on a culture on our campus where every employee, every faculty member, every staff, every administrator knows that they are a part of something bigger than themselves. Because at the end of the day, community colleges are all about people. They're about the potential of that one student who sat in their car for 10 or 15 minutes, debating their next step, just looking for a reason to change their mind. The work we do in the Great 58 is not about classrooms. It's not about credentials. It's about changing lives and possibly changing entire family trees. It's about strengthening families. It's about building the future of our communities together as one. Thank you for your time today. I look forward to seeing each of you at Piedmont Community College in the near future. Mr. President Cox, thank you so much for coming to our school this past week, and thank you for all the guidance you've given me in my first 9 months. I truly appreciate you, and I look forward to your next journey, sir. Thank you for everyone for letting us pull double duty today, and have a great one. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Okay, we'll now move on to association reports, and we'll start out with President Lee.
That's okay. I'll try to amplify. Good morning, everyone. I've also moved out of the camera view just so a lot goes on back here that y'all are not even aware of. So I want to say good morning to you all. Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chairman, President, all of our trustee members and special guests. In particular, Ms. Reba, glad to see you here today, and Evan. It's always a wonderful opportunity to come before you, and it's a privilege. I know you have a big agenda and so many things you're working on. So thank you for a few moments just to touch base on what's happening with the presidents. I am happy to share that yesterday we had Dr. Laura Leatherwood, a former President Association President join us during committee meetings. We had Ken Engel join us with the Transformation Committee. I don't know if it's a sign that both him and Mr. Ottman are not here today. We may have worn them out yesterday, but always happy that they're able to be here for this work. And then today I'm also joined with JB Buxton, the Vice President for the President's Association and President for Durham Tech. You've heard from Kevin Lee. Obviously, things are in great hands at Piedmont Community College. Also joined here with Vern Lindquist, the president at Johnston Community College. You saw Scott Rawls earlier, the president at Wake Tech Community College. And I want to also have a little personal privilege to make sure you see that Ashley Blizzard is here. Ashley has, her title is actually Coordinator of Operations for the Trustee Association and President's Association. Unofficially, she is the herder of 58 presidents, if you could imagine someone willing to take on that task. So love to be able to show some appreciation to Ashley since she's here today. This is a very, very important season for us as presidents. This is commencement season. All of our health sciences have pinning season. So our public safety programs have coinings that we do. And I want to share that with you because this is such an opportunity when you pin someone, when you provide a coin, that you're providing for them a token for their why. And we know those are hard fields. They're challenging fields and they have hard days ahead of them. And sometimes having just that token to remind you why you made that decision to begin with, why you're doing what you're doing is so important. And I would say for all of us in the community college system that work in these jobs, we have hard days also, not at the same level, but we do have challenges. And for us, graduation and commencement is our why. And so I apologize that we don't have more presidents here today to join in recognizing you, Jeff, but it is because we are very, very busy reminding ourselves why we do what we do and celebrating so many wonderful achievements for so many people. We are continuing to see record graduation ceremonies amongst all of the colleges. So we talk about our enrollment and how wonderful it is. We talk about how our headcount continues to climb. Just as importantly as they're crossing the finish line, our graduation numbers continue to climb as well. And what a testament to the hard work of so many people. We are also doing wonderful things beyond graduation, and we do them all the time. So exciting. And sometimes we need help to amplify that. So I want to publicly congratulate and recognize Tony Clark, Candy Diedemeyer, Laura Leatherwood, Scott Rawls, Chairman Looney, Vice Chairman Kane on your recognition in the Business North Carolina Most Influential and Powerful Leaders of 2026. Not only that, we also have heard that Forsyth Tech and Stanley Community College have been nominated for the Aspen Prize, and the winner will be announced in the spring. This is a very, very prestigious prize that we're just, to be nominated is significant, and we are pushing for one of the North Carolina community colleges to be the winner next year. We're very proud of everything that happened on Community College Day. Mr. Looney, I mean, what a day it was. Beautiful weather, many, many exciting things. Great example of the variety of work that we do across the state. Thank you for those of you who were able to change your schedules and be here. It makes such a difference as we tell our story. And we will continue to tell our story. That's our challenge as we hear that some things are happening, Alex, across the street. We're excited, and we will work with you hand in hand to make sure that story continues to be told. And I think one of the things that I would just like to say as I wrap up is you've heard some wonderful emotional stories in committees yesterday from Alamance Community College. You've heard the emotional stories today from Wake Tech, and even Dr. Lee's story about his journey. So as we're reflecting on our why, I would challenge you to use these stories as your why of what you're doing on this board. This is such an important board, and your work is so important to each of us. Thank you for your commitment, and thank you for all you do. And Mr. Looney, that completes my report unless there's any questions. I did not get out of the camera quick enough.
No, hold on. I warned you at the trustees event on stage that I was going to get you this morning. So, Jean, would you stand up, please?
Please, Jean,
Um,
stand up.
So we want to recognize both of you. You've made this job a joy. We don't always agree, but we always come to a great conclusion. And we have made such progress over the last year, and it wouldn't be without your leadership, President Lee and Jean from a trustees association. Trying to corral 800 cats, man, that's a tough job. So you've been an incredible supporter. We could have given you a plaque, but we wanted to give you something you'd really keep and put in your office. So would you please walk the gifts back and open them up for our guests, please? Huh? Yeah. And we will send you framed pictures for your office.
They are in good shape. Bill.
Come on up here, Gene. You're up. You're speaking next. Go ahead and take it out of the bag. Let's see what you got. Since you two are so unique, the gift we got each of you is a hand-blown piece of art, which is one of a kind, and both you guys are one of a kind. So, thank you. Boy.
Thank you. Thank Tom. Thank
Right.
you.
And there's a little stand that comes on that'll have your names on it and the recognition. They weren't done yet, but you do have that very unique piece of glass that we hope you cherish forever. But
We will.
you guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead and start. Ooh, okay, good morning.
Morning.
I was later in my presentation, I was going to talk to the folks I appreciated so much. And Dr. Lee was late in my presentation. And one thing, I guess, coming to these meetings has always been difficult for me is following her. She is so engaging and inspiring. So Amanda, I wish I could go before you instead of after you, but I've appreciated serving with. It's been quite an honor. She's exceptional. And you see presidents like Dr. Lee, you realize why this system has a good future ahead of it. Well, it's great to be with you today. And since your last state board meeting, the Trustees Association hosted its law legislative seminar in Cary. We had about 250 trustees and presidents there, and we appreciated their attendance. Chairman Looney led our last session on state board initiatives, and he updated us on the presidential search. Tom, I said this before, when you speak, no one's looking at their phone or engaging in small talk or nodding off. The way you express the path forward and vision for the North Carolina Community College system is crystal clear, and your presentation was inspiring. It was motivating, so thank you for that. And I think that's an important, most important presentation we have is when you lay the clear path out for 750 trustees of our local schools. Also, thanks. Dr. McGinnis is not here today, but I'd like to thank him. He led a session on new trustee training, and Julie and Caroline had a number of comments from trustees who attended his session and the kind of new trustee handbook of do's and don'ts, of best practices, and of understanding what the working relationship should be between individual schools and the system. I know this is Dr. Cox's last meeting. As he approaches his retirement, I just want to thank him as well. And Jeff, you've accomplished so much for our system, and you've laid the groundwork for the bright future I was just talking about. And again, thank you so much for that. It's been a pleasure. And as I just said before about Dr. Lee, it's just been an absolute pleasure. And she is the most pleasant and inspiring person I've been around. It's just been great. My term as the Trustees Association will expire in June. And I just want to say the last 2 years has been rewarding for me. And I want to thank this board and Chairman Looney particularly for your leadership, for including the trustees in the decision processes, and for making this system work. I mean, we know we're on the right path. It's never been better in my 25 years as a college trustee, so I want to thank you for that. I'll continue on the executive board. I'd like to thank you in advance. Our vice chair, Claudia Robinette, will follow me, and she's at Richmond Community College, and she'll do a great job. You'll enjoy working with her. But that concludes my remarks. And again, thank you very much, and thank you for this. Thanks to each one of you.
Thanks, Gene. Now, Claudia Robinette's going to be dangerous. She was trained by Dale McGinnis, so my gosh, I'm not sure what we're going to get now. God.
You get Dale with her.
Yeah. All right, it's my pleasure now to introduce the $60 million man, Mr. Randall Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman Looney. Good morning again, everyone. I'm
Morning.
Randall Johnson, the chair of the North Carolina Community Colleges Foundation, and it's my pleasure to provide this update on our activity. As y'all will remember, the foundation is a nonpartisan, nonprofit 501c3 public charity that was established to support the mission of the community college system. So we're the official support organization for the system. The state board and the system office have 3 representatives serving as ex officio members on the foundation board. Those include Chairman Tom Looney, who serves as foundation officer, President Jeff Cox, who serves as foundation secretary, and member Chris Lumsden, who serves as the foundation director. And we also have representatives from the Association of North Carolina Community College Presidents and the trustees. So thank you for your service. We appreciate your engagement. Just wanted to level set how we're all connected here again. Now, I'm pleased to share a few highlights and updates since we last talked. First, on fundraising, our priority at this time. As you know, the state board, the system office, and the foundation are co-leading our first ever national campaign called SOAR, the Campaign for North Carolina Community Colleges. And the foundation serves as the managing director in collaboration with CCS Fundraising, who's our campaign counsel. And Chairman Looney, President Cox, and I serve as the campaign executive team. And we convene monthly to monitor and ensure campaign progress as we advance our statewide priorities with national funders. As far as progress, we've already mentioned some of our progress. We've now exceeded $60 million raised over the past couple of years, and that's toward our goal of $75 million. As Chairman Looney mentioned, we might have to increase that at some point. We're doing so well. And working together, all of us together, we're 80% of our goal in a couple of years in a 5-year campaign. So we're very happy about the progress there. Our next step is board solicitation, and we hope to secure 100% participation from the foundation and the state board members, which sends a powerful signal to the national funders about the strength of our campaign and the strength of our organizations. And to that end, I want to acknowledge and thank and appreciate Chairman Looney for leading the way with his family's $100,000 transformational gift announced in March. Thank you, Chairman Looney. Our second focus is driving awareness, and I saw many of you at our events, our awards event last month. As you know, the State Board, System Office, and Foundation co-hosted the annual awards event last month at the Angus Barn. Wonderful celebration of the people and the statewide impacts of the community colleges across North Carolina. Our foundation led the development efforts, and I'm pleased to report that we secured the highest amount of sponsorships so far of the 3 years that we've been doing this, just shy of $140,000 in cash and additional ticket sales and sponsorship trade. We have surpassed the cost, so we've covered the cost of that event. Happy to report. And by the way, putting on one of these events, as y'all would imagine, this type of premier event takes an amazing amount of thought, time, talent, teamwork. So we want to share our appreciation with for Amy Mast, the system's executive director of state board relations, who led the coordination of our 3 organizations. This year, by all accounts, is the best year yet, and we just want to thank you. Well done. Great job, Ms. Mast. Our third area of focus is innovation. We have a number of important projects in the works, and we'll have more to report on that at our next quarterly meeting. A lot of great activity there. And fourth and finally, operations and governance. As you know, last fiscal year, I mentioned to you last time I was here, was our best year ever for the foundation. with the highest revenue in history at $5 million and with the highest amount of funds distributed to our community colleges at nearly $5 million and the highest investment earnings as well in our portfolio at almost $1.5 million. So good news, as we wrap up this fiscal year at the end of June, it appears we're on track to beat last year, to exceed last year's performance, making this fiscal year our best year ever. So I'll provide more information as we get closer to the end of the year and in the next report. Most importantly, and new this year, we're on track to have funded all 58 of our community colleges across the state and their respective foundations. So that's a big win for us. We still got a long way to go. We want to do a lot more across the entire state and all 58, but we did touch each one of those community colleges as of this year. We'll provide a more thorough performance report once the fiscal year financial statements are finalized. So stay tuned. We've still got a lot of work to do, but we're on the right track and the best is yet to come. Chairman Looney, that concludes our Foundation Quarterly Report, and I would welcome any questions, comments, ideas that the State Board might have. Thank you.
Randall, I just want to say how proud I am of you, because this is really not about the money. A lot of it's about the messaging and the value proposition. People invest in value propositions. And with 60 million, that can be 120, it can be 180 million. It can get General Assembly investment, other organizations investment. So it just says we are the best investment in the state of North Carolina. And people are asking me the question now, how are you guys doing it? And I said, I'm not sharing it. All right. But you guys have done magic. And the magic is the whole team. And I want to thank the guy to my right here, President Cox.
Absolutely.
He has dedicated a significant amount of time to fundraising. He's had relationships over the years here in North Carolina that we leverage. So if you'd please recognize President Cox for his efforts. Thank you.
Thank you.
And all I can tell you is your number is going to be much, much bigger. I'm thinking it's hundreds now. So
I love
you got me once, not twice, Randall.
I agree. But Chairman Looney, I just want to support what you just said. Thank you for the teamwork. It's not just the foundation, it's the State Board, it's President Cox and the system partners. It's a whole bunch of partners. So thank you for that collaboration.
Great. Thanks, Randall. Okay, we're going to move on now to the committee reports. The first committee is the Executive Committee. We have no reports from that meeting. But I will tell you, those members who are on that committee, which are all our committee chairs, it's about an hour-long meeting, but it gives us a good opportunity to interlock before the board meeting. And we've had, I think, 2 or 3 meetings now, and I believe they've been very productive. So I want to appreciate the board chairs who are, or the committee chairs who attend those meetings each month before the board meeting, because I think it's going to allow us to be better aligned and more productive in the overall board meeting itself. So thank you. Okay, we're going to move on now to Transformation Committee. Mr. Ottman, who is with us remotely today.
Good morning, Chairman. Thank you for the opportunity. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, I've got 2 things for information only, but I did want to touch on, you had asked for feedback earlier and I couldn't get to the mute button fast enough, but I just want to personally say that when I hear stories like the one from Johnston County and that young lady, for me, it makes all the hard work worthwhile. So just keep those stories coming, because it puts, I think you said it, gas in the tank, so to speak. So Dr. Lee, I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but I haven't run away yet, so I'm still here. Let's talk about the 2 updates. One is on ERP. The second will be on CRM, and I'll ask Dr. Merritt just to give a quick update on the CRM progress. But let me first touch on ERP. I'm extremely excited about where we are in this project. We really are on the cusp of putting this one over the goal line. And frankly, I know I keep saying this, but we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the hard work from Dr. Merritt, Dr. Price's, Dr. Schneider's team, Patrick and his entire team, and frankly, all of the pilot CIOs. It really has been a team effort. It takes a village, and we really are so close. Let's talk about, things that we've done quickly here. We had a great representation at eLive, where in Denver, where Aleutian showed the art of the possible. I think the team came back extremely excited about where we are. If I touch base on the 3 system apps, we have, data warehouse, where Dr. Schneider and the team have closed with Aleutian all defects and are looking to move that into production. CCL, Common Course Library, Brian and his team have been working hard since Aleutian pulled it back in from Course Dog. And frankly, Dr. Eads and the team, I think, are excited about what they're seeing from Aleutian in the proposed CCL solution. So I'm excited about that. And Dr. Price is, his team now has 46 of the 58 colleges reconciled for now the 4th month. So, that's just flat out outstanding progress across the board. I did want to mention too, I want to thank Dr. Sorrells and as well as Dr. Dietermeyer and the 5 presidents from the pilot CIO colleges. We will have a 2-day session, Patrick, myself, and his team, as well as those 5 CIOs and the CIOs from Central Piedmont, as well as Wake Tech. And we're going to spend 2 days talking about governance, data governance, as well as deployment the strategies when we actually look to deploy the Banner solution. So, it's a great spot to be in. It's great to be talking about deployment, and so excited about that session. The other thing I want to mention quickly before I turn it over to Dr. Merritt is I want to thank Stephen, Patrick, and the rest of the team, as well as the colleges that were on Canvas that had to deal with the security breach last week. I think the team did a phenomenal job with communication, as well as working with the colleges to make sure that there was little or no exposure from the North Carolina community college system. So I think we should all recognize the hard work from those teams that really made that a non-event, let's say, for us. Lastly, I want to touch on, I think there's been a lot of emotion around Aleutian Student. We've heard about Aleutian Student. It is an AI, let's call it an agentic AI solution that will sit on top of Banner. We have lost nothing. It's not going to impact our timeline and all the work that the colleges have done to get us to this point. So I think it's great news. It's the art of the possible, but it's not a negative impact at all. It should be seen as a positive impact. So that's it on ERP. I would invite Dr. Merritt up for a quick update on CRM if he's there.
I am here, and I heard the word quick, so I will embrace that. So good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to provide a update on the customer relationship management platform, or CRM. We love acronyms. So the transformation committee yesterday heard an update from the system's ongoing work and the next steps in evaluating how our CRM tools are evolving and how we can better support students across our 58. Just as a reminder, at its core, the CRM it's all about helping colleges and helping students more effectively from that first inquiry as a prospect into enrollment, into completion, and into the workforce, and even engagement and communication with our business partners and outreach and support with alumni. So as previously discussed in March during our committee meeting and with the full board, CRM adoption is already widespread across our system, but implementation depth and institutional capacity really vary significantly from college to college. So this May update we're going to focus on how we're going to move from, we're looking at moving from individual adoption towards a more intentional system-informed strategy. So part of that work since March, the System Office has released a request for information to really formally request market research and to better understand the vendor landscape, implementation models, and long-term support considerations for how this CRM adoption could be part of our larger scale ERP transformation. So we've had strong engagement already. We had 13 vendors submit questions to us from this RFI. Our team got 194 questions from 13 vendors. So by Wednesday, our team in IT and a number of others responded to those questions. And the vendor responses are due for the RFI to the system office next Wednesday, May 20th. So over the next few weeks, we're going to continue engagement, synthesizing those responses, talking with our presidents, with our CIOs. We'll be at the CIO meeting association meeting on May 27th, and with other stakeholders as we evaluate the information that we receive. And our goal is to work closely with Mr. Ottman, with the Transformation Committee and system stakeholders, and potentially bring a recommendation to the board in July as we look at, what was strategic and, exploratory in nature. We're moving towards a goal of ensuring that we position our system to a more consistent, effective transformation that we can support our students and our colleges effectively moving forward with CRM. Happy to answer any questions.
Just a point, I've asked Mr. Ottman to probably within the next couple of board meetings is kind of share the roadmap. I think over the last year, we've talked about CRM, LMS, ERP. What does that all mean to our students? What does that all mean to our colleges? And we had a strategy session with Aleutian, it was last week, where they laid out the vision, and student was part of that. It's the integration of all these tools for our colleges and the capacity it's going to give, particularly our smaller colleges that cannot afford those tools today. As I said, the vision for this is that our smallest colleges have the same tools as our largest colleges. And one of the things that has held us back in CRM is the fact that we don't have resources on those campuses. And as we continue to build out our AI strategy, those resources will not be as critical because AI will perform a lot of those functions that will be embedded into CRM and some of these other tools. So we're going to show you the vision, lay it out, and I'll tell you, it was the meeting last week was probably one of the most exciting, positive meetings I've been in as far as technology. I've shared this with a number of people, and I'll tell you what, I think we're going to lead the state in the adoption of technology, the unification of data and securing data from other organizations across the state so we can get our message out to high school students, their parents, maybe unemployed people. More people need to know about what we can offer in our value proposition. And the funding we got today, the tools we're implementing, we're gonna be on fire. So I really appreciate all the work you've done, Dr. Merritt, Mr. Ottman, and a good update, Mr. Ottman, would be probably in about 2 board meetings to come in and have Aleutian take the team through the roadmap so they really see what the outcomes are going to be.
Okay, that's the end of my update, Chairman.
Thanks for your report. And I want to call out, I see John Denning in the back. John actually helped us early on with CRM, particularly supporting colleges in the western part of the state to give them those same tools. So, John, I want to thank you for your support at providing that initial seed funding. Hopefully, we'll have some success this legislative session and really be able to put that program on fire. Okay, let's move over to Mr. Lang now, accountability and audit. Okay. Missed you up front, Jeff, but I got you now.
Paula, you want to take over? Okay, baby, here we go. All right, so accountability and audit, we reported on 7 items yesterday. There are 4 completed audits, and looking at the completion of the audits, there were some minor issues, some relating to system controls, and these are not significant, and management has agreed to implement all of the recommended changes by audit. So we're pleased with that. There are 3 audits that are still ongoing and will be completed on time by the end of June, at which time we will report on those. We have maybe one thing of interest, and that is on the disaster replanning And Kim, who do we have here today that can take us through that? It's probably appropriate as hurricane season's coming up.
Thank you, Mr. Lang. The committee has been reporting and hearing about over the past year our work on natural disaster preparedness. That was at the request of the audit committee post Hurricane Helene that we develop materials and resources to help colleges plan. We know that unfortunately natural disasters happen frequently across our state, and being prepared and planning is key to the success of responding to those natural disasters. I appreciate the gifts that were given earlier to Dr. Lee and Jean Rees that came from the western part of the state. One of the things that we've learned from this project is that recovery takes a long time. So we continue to remember our western North Carolina colleagues. And I just want to call out, you asked who can speak to this. Virginia McElwain is in the audience with us today. And just by way of introduction, Virginia is the founder of East Third Group. It's a nationally respected strategist with deep expertise that spans K-12 education, college access, philanthropy, and system change. Virginia brings a very unique blend of practitioner and philanthropic leadership experience. She's also a wonderful colleague, a good listener, and a really good colleague to help compile all of the great information that we've received from our colleges. A shout out goes to our college presidents and their leadership teams for all the information they've provided. Sometimes walking through a disaster and giving your insights and your expertise can be a bit traumatizing to live back through that. So we really thank them. But Virginia's in the audience with us today if she just wants to be recognized or say a few words.
Stand up, wave. Okay, thank you, Virginia.
Yeah, thank you, Virginia.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes audit and accountability. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Lang. Okay, let's move on now to programs and student success. Ms. West.
Good morning. I am happy to report on our Programs and Student Success Committee meeting. It's always such a pleasure to share the outcomes. We have 3 items on the 4-action agenda. First, Program 1, the State Board is asked to approve the Apprenticeship NC Council appointments. The Apprenticeship NC Council is overseen by Apprenticeship NC. The State Board, pursuant to statute, appoints a council composed of 4 representatives from employer organizations, 4 from employee organizations, 3 representatives from the public at large, an ex officio member of the Department of Public Instruction, and an ex officio member of the NC Department of Commerce. And if we scroll to the second page of the item, you can see the proposed members listed here for our board's review and approval, and the chair, who is appointed annually, is proposed to be Mr. Roger Collins. And are there questions regarding this item? Hearing none, Mr. Chair, the committee recommends, and I so move, for approval of Program 1.
Okay, you've heard the motion from the Programs and Student Success Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you. Program 2, the State Board is asked to approve the legislative report for the IDD Workforce Training Program. As a reminder, Access to Achievement aims to improve employment outcomes and credential attainment among individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities by offering innovative vocational training and extensive student support across 15 of the participating community colleges. I'd like to again congratulate Lisa Eastup, got your name right today, Nancy Guy, and Senator Michael Lee for the very special award that they received at our awards event in April for their seminal work in conceptualizing and sponsoring this program, which began as a 2-college pilot in the 2021-22 academic year. And I'd like to note that Senate Bill 991, the Community College Workforce Readiness Act, does include a request for recurring funds to expand this model nationally, first of its kind program from 15 to 25 colleges. We had highlights. We had the privilege of hearing from Nancy Guy yesterday, our state director of the program. A few key outcomes that the director shared. To date, in fiscal 26, 871 community college students have participated and received support from an Access to Achievement Program coordinator. In the fall of 2025 semester, students completed 87% of the courses attempted, with 89% completed with a passing grade. Those are outstanding outcomes for any student class. And so we just really want to celebrate that outstanding success. And we're seeing that the students in Access to Achievement are earning industry recognized short-term credentials at a higher rate than any other type of outcome. And it's important to call out that the extraordinary success of this program has much to do with the rigor with which the program's infrastructure has been built and with the dedication of those who work within the program. And to that point, we were really delighted yesterday to have as a special guest Tammy Maddox, the Access to Achievement coordinator at Guilford College. She shared with us a compelling account of a day, a week, a year in the life of an Access to Achievement coordinator. Ms. Maddox's account brought to vivid life the way in which our program coordinators come alongside students and their families to ensure their success and their ability to thrive within the program. We also saw a brief video of an Access to Achievement graduate who parlayed his internship in horticulture into a job on the building and grounds team at Elon College. So are there questions regarding this item? Hearing none, Mr. Chair, the committee recommends, and I so move for approval of Program 2.
Okay, you've heard the motion from the Programs and Student Success Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. One last item for action. The State Board is asked to approve our 2026 Performance Measures for Student Success report. This is our major accountability document and the source for our 2026-27 state performance funding. This report in 2026 is based on data compiled during the previous year and serves to inform colleges and the public on the performance of our 58 community colleges. Many thanks to Dr. Bill Schneider, our Vice President of System Effectiveness, who walked us through the high-level outcomes of the report and shared a very focused deep dive on North Carolina's performance and curriculum completion relative to that of other states. We did call out the fact that this performance data is based on a rotating 6-year results. We really look back to 2019 to understand the 6-year performance of students coming through our system and their rates of curriculum completion over 4 years, 5 years, and 6 years. And we also heard from Dr. Brian Merritt and Dr. Mandy Lee regarding the ways in which our community colleges are leveraging this data. I want to thank Chris Lumsden for a very thoughtful set of questions that we discussed prior to the meeting and during the meeting in terms of how do we use this data to really refine our strategy, mitigate emerging areas of concern. How can we as a board lean in more to really understand the performance measures, what they mean. By legislative mandate, this is a year 2027 where we will have the opportunity to refine and revise our measures. And I think that will be a very a great opportunity as we welcome a new leader and as we continue to affirm our position as the #1 driver of economic mobility in the state, to really look at the measures. What do we want to measure? How do we want to hold ourselves accountable? Are there questions regarding this item? Mr. Chair, the committee recommends, and I so move for approval of Program 3.
Heard the motion from the Programs and Student Success Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you. One final note from our board consent agenda. I do want to note that we heard from our team that we have established a suite of completely new 9,000 level courses that have been added to our combined course library. The suite of courses represent micro-credentials or micro-pathways into our combined course library that other colleges can now adopt. This is a long-term solution to fast-track and solidify workforce continuing education pathways. It supports our ability to be Propel ready, and it also supports our capacity to be workforce Pell aligned. And on a related update, as many have heard, the Governor's Council on Workforce and Apprenticeships and the NC Works Commission met on Wednesday. A key outcome was the approval of our workforce Pell eligibility requirements and application process. So that's another milestone on our path to aligning with Workforce Pell. And are there questions regarding that item for our team? Hearing none, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to finance now. Ms. Eastep.
Excuse me. Good morning. The Finance Committee had 8 items for action. FCO1, State Board Reserve Request, Innovators in Residence Network, AI and System Innovation. Yesterday, the committee heard from Dr. Andrea Crowley about this proposed professional development program, which was centered around AI integration strategies and innovation and opportunities. These goals were developed from goals centered around the Transformation Committee, recommendations from the Transformation Committee and the NCAI Leadership Council. There was also a request from Chair Looney that Dr. Crowley's team look at reaching out to the student leadership group and also hear from their perspective. The amount requested was $40,800, which would empty our State Board Reserve piggy bank for the year, which is a good thing. So the committee recommends and I so move approval of FCO1.
Okay, you've heard the motion from the Finance Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Attachment FCO2, Information Technology Service Management Extension for the System Office and Colleges. This is a 1-year extension with ServiceNow for service management. This does provide tools for business services to the System Office and the 13 participating colleges. This is a request not to exceed a little over $274,000. So the committee recommends and I so move approval of attachment FCO2.
Okay, you've heard the motion for the Finance Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Attachment FCO3, also a 1-year contract extension not to exceed $350,000 with Intrinsic for their Informer data and reporting solution. This platform interfaces with our current ERP solution, Colleague. And we did hear from Mr. Ottman about the fact that we will be evaluating going forward as we move through our modernization, what will be needed in terms of the add-ons, maybe what we can transition to. And Mr. Ottman referred to that a lot of these contracts are 1-year contracts as we determine what we can still use, what we can kind of integrate with our new ERP. So the committee recommends and I so move approval of attachment FCO3.
Okay, you've heard the motion from the Finance Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The motion carries.
Attachment FCO4. Contract for Intelligent Learning Platform, not to add another acronym, ILP. This is a 1-year contract with Elution, not to exceed a little over $1.1 million. This is part of our Canvas solution. What used to be a manual process will now be digital, and this will provide real-time data for student, faculty, and course information. There is also embedded in this contract support for the colleges on implementation. So the committee recommends and I so move approval of attachment FCO4.
Heard the motion from the Finance Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Attachment FCO5, contract for Learning Management System Online Help Desk. The company formerly known as Anthology, now Encora. This is a one-year contract for $813,000 for 24/7 help desk support for both students and faculty for all LMS platforms. It's regardless of any platform that you have. Last year, AI support was added to this. The committee recommends, and I so move, approval of attachment FC05.
You've heard the motion from the Finance Committee. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Say no. Motion carries.
For the next two contracts, as this board knows, we are transitioning to a unified LMS solution, but we do have a runway for that. The committee did talk about that yesterday. The end date for that transition is 12/31/27. So we do have these next two contracts that are on for that time period. So this is really for continuity of services as that transition is completed. Attachment FC06, contract for Blackboard Learning Management System. This is a one-year contract with Blackboard for the system office and 11 colleges for an amount not to exceed a little over $383,000. So the committee recommends, and I so move, approval of attachment FC06.
You've heard the motion from the Finance Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. Attachment FC07, contract for Moodle hosting services. This is also a one-year contract, extension not to exceed 1.7 million for Moodle LMS, Open LMS for the system office, 35 colleges, and the VLC. The committee recommends, and I so move, approval of attachment FC07.
Per the motion from the Finance Committee, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, say no. The motion carries.
Attachment FC08, contract for Integrated Library System, ILS. This is a one-year contract not to exceed $191,000 with CRC Dynex. This will be our final contract with CRC Dynex. Again, the board is aware that we went through a new system contract, and that award went to Ex Libris in November of last year. So this contract should take us through the time period needed to transition the 5 colleges on this current contract to that new system. So the committee recommends, and I so move, approval of attachment FC08.
Per the motion from the Finance Committee, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
All right, thank you. The other 9 items on the agenda for finance were approved under consent agenda, so thank you for that. The only other thing I have is we had on the agenda attachment FC22, our budget tracking sheet. The governor did have his budget out, and we had that on review, so please take some time to look at that at your leisure. I do want to call up Mr. Fagg to talk a little bit about what has been happening over in the General Assembly.
Thank you, Ms. Eastep. I'll try to be quick, so, well, maybe you should sit down. We'll see how long this takes. First, I want to start off by Mr. Johnson talked about the April Awards event, Community College Day. Deanna stepped up. She coordinated with 42 college exhibit operators, 58 presidents, the trustees. So, I mean, that was yeoman's work, Deanna. Great job. It was a great event. We took it to the next level, and we're going to take it to the next level next year as well. So, Katie, Chrissy, thank you for y'all's support. The president showed up, state board members. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. I mean, Mary, wherever she is, she negotiated 50 pizzas, I think it was, with Demos for the event. So all hands on deck. The rain thankfully held off until the afternoon. A couple of us got a little wet, but really impactful day. We've heard great feedback from the General Assembly members about that from the colleges. We've heard great feedback. I really had a great time. even the college exhibit individuals, great feedback. So again, just a great event and really, really appreciate the support and turnout there. So over the last, I guess it's been a month and a half, 2 months, we've seen the governor release his recommended budget proposal. Really strong starting point for the community college system. And we sent that to you in a kind of a one-off correspondence. You'll probably get a lot of those over the next couple of weeks. And the breaking news this week was the Senate and the House of the General Assembly have come to an agreement on some of those foundational issues that we have been talking about over a multitude of months. They have resolved a lot of those and they're moving forward with budget meetings. Right now, they're having policy area appropriation meetings, which for us is focused on education, our education appropriation chairs. We've been engaged over many hours as of late. Last night at 9 p.m., I think Philip and I were on the phone. So good news is we're engaged, and that means things are moving forward. We expect them to begin reporting out to full chairs potentially as early as next week. So remember, we go education policy chairs to the full budget chairs. Full budget chairs provide feedback, and then they kind of work through any feedback back at the education level. But ultimately, they will report up to the full budget chairs that they can go to the leaders in each chamber. So it'll move very quickly. As we know, we've kind of talked about how when the dam breaks, it's going to move very, very fast. And that's what we're seeing. So they reported that they anticipate votes on a state budget the week of June 15th. So again, very, very fast pace, as we know for short session especially. So monitor your emails. We'll keep you up to date as well as all of our stakeholders. I called Sandy Stewart this morning at 8 a.m. Unfortunately, he's doing graduation things. So I'll touch base with him again today. But again, all hands on deck. Really appreciate the support. So you received in your email earlier this week as well, our Propel and See brochure. We discussed this in March and many iterations. Thank you, Nathan. I think we had about 12 versions until we got it finalized. Thank you for your feedback, this board. We incorporated a lot of that. I won't walk through it all with you, but it's got a lot of information on what Propel NC is. It's talking points. It's meant to help you all in external engagement, not just with General Assembly members, but also business and industry. We highlight individual workforce sectors in this. There's specific occupations that we targeted that we have heard a lot of the discussions about even today with the healthcare announcements. So it's not everything, but it's the targeted ones for you. One note I will make is there are some instances where the annual completers that we have right now exceeds the job market openings. Remember, a lot of those people and come back to us for reskilling, recertifications every year, BLET, EMS, whatever that may be. It's a major part of our mission at the community colleges. So if you see those numbers, Mr. Lang flagged it for me yesterday, so thank you. Just remember, the annual openings are new jobs, but we retrain, reskill every single day going on there. So again, a lot moving at the state level, and we will try to keep you updated as possible. Good news. So I think it's all positive. We continue to be engaged, like I mentioned, on Propel and See, our legislative agenda as well, with just other kind of things that come up with the General Assembly. So all positive right now. It's just as important to finish strong as it is to start. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you all may have, and I think I have covered everything.
I'll mention, Alex, I just want to mention one thing. Alex, this is great. And what really makes it great, and I know it was very, very, very hard, is putting numbers in here that we commit to. Because when you ask somebody for something, especially money, want to know what are you going to get for it? And you did it. So from the board, thank you for the hard work you and Nathan put into getting this out.
Yeah, and I'll also call, yes, sir, and I'll also call Bill Schneider and Philip, lots of iterations. And I will note, we have projected projected capacity increase if we do receive Propel funding there. And that's the big number. You will see it kind of bolded, highlighted, and the arrow up. That's the big, what we can do if we get Propel and see funding. And also, President Cox, thank you for your support on everything that we're doing. Great teams. I just want to thank you for all your support for us.
I was just thinking, I'm probably the only person that can stand next to Alex and make him look normal. None of you can probably see back there when we're standing side by side. All right, if there are no questions, that concludes my report from finance.
Okay, but you can stay there because we'll move on to now State Board Policy and Governance.
All right. Here we go. State Board Policy and Governance had 5 items for action. SBPG 01, proposed amendment of 1D subsection 400.1 curriculum definitions. There were some changes substituting obsolete course instead of archived course terminology. Also work-based learning and clinical hours for contact hours and requiring 60 minutes for each clinical hour. The committee recommends an ISO move approval of attachment SBPG 01.
Okay, you've heard the motion from the State Board Policy and Governance Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. We have any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed amendment of 1D subsection 400.3 program classification. Did I say it was SBPG 02?
2.
02. Changes the 4-year college requirement to baccalaureate granting college, consolidates the language to simplify degree programs into one category with 3 sections: transfer, associates in applied science, and associates in general education. So the committee recommends an ISO move approval of attachment SBPG 02.
Per the motion from the Policy and Governance Committee, all those in favor, please say aye. If we have any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Amendment of 1D subsection 400.4 faculty. In compliance with the new statutes, colleges are no longer required to use SACS COC, so that language has been removed. The committee recommends an ISO move approval of SBPG 03.
Okay, you've heard the motion from the State Board Policy and Governance Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. If you have any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
SBPG 04, amendment of 1D subsection 400.7. Consistent with previous code changes of instructional service agreements to cooperative curriculum agreements, and removes all requirements for a signature. The new ERP only requires approval from the president. So the committee recommends an ISO move approval of SBPG 04.
You've heard the motion from the State Board Policy and Governance Committee. Please, all those in favor, please say aye. If you have any opposed, say no. That motion carries.
SBPG 05, proposed amendment of 1D subsection 400.8 courses for curriculum programs. This removes supplemental courses since the courses are now under developmental courses. Changes from 3 years to 5 years before a course may be marked obsolete, and clarifies the standards language whether a curriculum course may receive a transfer designation. So the committee recommends an ISO move approval of attachment SBPG 05.
Per the motion from the State Board Policy and Governance Committee, all those in favor, please say aye. If we have any opposed, say no. That motion carries.
Thank you. And that is all we have for governance. So that concludes my report.
All right, thank you for doing double duty.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. McBrayer, Personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee members, personnel yesterday, we had a lot of conversation about many topics. The first thing I just want to talk about for information only, to bring your attention to our vacancy rate that has ticked up just a tad at 8.47%. A lot of those are, what's the word I'm looking for? Grant funded. So not real concerned with that at this moment. Also, glad to report that our presidential status report is cooking at a 100%. Right now, we don't have any vacancies, so that's a good thing as well. Any questions on that information items? Yes, sir.
Just one. We always report on this 8 point. What are the colleges normally at from a vacancy report? Is that in line with, are the colleges, like individual colleges, do they normally have a vacancy report that high? 8% or that low, whatever?
Madam President?
Thank you, sir, for your question. Colleges are required to report to their boards twice a year on their personnel activity. So the way they report it may be a little bit different. And because of our funding is a little bit different from you as an agency, then our reporting is a little bit different. I'm looking at your facial expression.
Well, do you have a guess? Is it, so it's
whatever-
not a
no,
vacancy?
I
No, okay,
do not.
thanks.
Yes,
Just
sir.
curious.
Yeah, I would think that would vary all over the board. Okay. No other questions? At this time, I move to go into closed session. Surprise, surprise. How long it's going to take is a great guess.
Okay.
To go into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and A6 to prevent the disclosure of information that is confidential or privileged in accordance with General Statute 115D-27, and to consider the qualifications, competence, performance, character, and fitness of individual public employees and prospective public employees. So we need a second, Mr. Chair.
We have a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are now moving into closed session.
We'll stand at ease until further notice. Thank you. Are we good? Okay. So, we had in Personnel Committee the reelection of some presidents. And so Personnel Committee recommends, and I so move, the following reelections. Dr. Maria Farr at Pitt Community College, Dr. Janet Spriggs, Forsyth Community College, Dr. Don Thomas, Southwestern Community College, and Miss Jenny Varner at Davidson Davy Community College. Committee recommends, and I so move this approval.
Personnel Committee, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Say no. Motion carries.
And that concludes my portion of personnel. I'll put it back to you.
Thank you. And I have one item from the closed session, and that's the appointment of the interim president. The interim president that we've selected is Bill Carver. Bill was the president of Nash Community College. He is highly thought of both in the system office and by our colleges. He's been an interim twice before, and I believe he's the right, and our board believes he's the right person at the right time. Mr. Kane and I have spent a good bit of time with President Carver here over the last 30 days, and I move that we appoint Bill Carver as interim president for the North Carolina Community College system, effective. I'm trying to think of the effective. It's effective July 1, but we'll probably have him in a couple extra days prior to that in transition. And there'll be actually a transition meeting with the staff on the 15th of January as we begin of June as we begin the process of transition. Do I have a second? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Okay, let's move on now to the president's report. Dr. Cox.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. I want to thank all of our guests and partners, as I always do, who have joined us here in person as well as online this morning. I have a couple of very special guests over here to my left. I want to welcome my wife, Reba, and my middle son, Evan. It's nice to have them here with me today. It's great having both of you all here. Of course, I also want to call out Dr. Mandy Lee and all the presidents who are here with us in person and those who are joining online. Want to thank Gene for being here representing our Trustees Association. Again, appreciate his kind words earlier. It's been a pleasure working with all of these folks. While acknowledging the presidents and our trustees, I just want to give a special note of gratitude for the lovely reception at the trustees conference where you all took some time to thank me for my 32 plus years of service to this great state, including the 12 plus years here in the community college system. It was a special night for my family and me, and we won't forget it. So I appreciate that a lot. So thank you. Back to today, we appreciate all of our stakeholders and guests joining us this month, as always. Alex, I want to give you and Deanna, again, a special shout out for the terrific job you all did coordinating the Community College Day. Again, I think we've set a new bar this year with 42 of our college presidents. I want to thank them for bringing teams, setting up those booths, really showcasing what we do across the system, the breadth of what we do. So thanks to everybody for a great day there. Also to Amy and the team, Mary, others, everybody who helped contribute to the awards banquet. Again, another high bar we've set. So good stuff. So folks, this report is obviously a special one for me as it represents the last time that I'll stand before this board to formally address you all from the position as system president. There's something about edging closer to this June 30th retirement date that's making me a little more reflective of my own personal journey. But more importantly, about having had the opportunity to have a front row seat to the incredible journey the North Carolina Community College system has been on for over the last 3 years. As I wind down my tenure as system president, I believe more than ever that we are the very best community college system in the country. I'd like to highlight just a few of the very positive trend lines that we're seeing that I think make that case. Dr. McGinnis shared back in March that our North Carolina Community College system has increased enrollment from our pre-COVID numbers back in 2019, 2020 by over 12%. That's in comparison to a national average over that same time period of 3%. And so for those of you keeping score at home, that puts North Carolina 400% higher on enrollment growth than the national average since 2019. So that's not pretty good. It's not really good. It's remarkable. And so I'm really, really proud of that and the work our college presidents and our system team are doing to make that happen. Just this past year, we had the highest enrollment growth in the history of the system. We're going to need $102 million in new money from the General Assembly just to keep up with the pace of growth that we're experiencing. Last year, this year's growth is only outpaced last year's growth and the previous year. So we're really on a 3-year record trend for enrollment growth. So we have fully rebounded from COVID and then some. Really, really proud of all of our colleges and the work they're doing to bring in more students into the opportunity that we offer. We talked over the last couple of months about North Carolina being the #1 state in the country for business the last 3 out of the last 4 years. And this year, North Carolina being recognized as the #1 in the country for workforce. And again, I think our community colleges are the secret sauce for that achievement. Our 58 colleges doing the work, that's what elevates our state to be #1 for a workforce. I have no doubt about that. How many other states in the country would kill to have either one of those distinctions? And we've got them both here in North Carolina, #1 for business and #1 for workforce. So kudos to us. We've shifted our focus over the last several years across our colleges from just thinking about how do we boost enrollment to thinking about how do we get more students to complete their degrees and credentials. And increasingly now we're having the conversation about the real measure of success is what happens after our students graduate and they get out and earn a job. Are they truly having real economic mobility? I'm really proud of all of our college presidents for embracing that idea, that concept, that it's not enough to get more students in the door. It's not even enough to get more out the door with certificates or diplomas. If they don't really have a transformative effect on the students, then we haven't hit the mark. So I implore the board and the system office and the colleges to continue that focus on the ultimate measure of success being the degree to which our students are better off financially because they spent time with us. The same month I was hired as assistant president, back in June of 2023, the Community College System Foundation, as you all will remember, hired Katie Lubis as the first full-time executive director. As we talked some about today, we went to work immediately galvanizing our respective boards, this board and the foundation board, our system office leadership team, the Presidents Association, the Trustees Association, businesses, industries, national and state level philanthropies and philanthropic partners. And we've enjoyed incredible success over the last roughly 14 or so months. We have tipped over this $60 million in fundraising toward this $75 million goal. To put this in context, our foundation has been hovering about $10 million as a total for many years, and the foundation has raised $60 million in a little over the last year. Again, that's over a 600% increase over what we've ever had before. And again, that's not just marginal improvement. That's really incredible. So shifting gears, we're making real strides with the ERP project. We've talked about that, putting the finishing touches on our system office applications and moving forward with this banner pilot across all the 5 banner pilot colleges. The demonstrations that we've seen with this banner student solution have really revealed a product that our students, faculty, and staff are going to love, I believe. This positions our system and our colleges for continued acceleration and modernization. So I want to give a shout out to Scott Ottman and Patrick Fleming, Deontay Tyler, our system office team, all the presidents, vice presidents who have really led their respective areas of this modernization. It's been really done a ton of hard work. Of course, with all the colleges who are in the pilots, all their employees, a lot of hands have been involved with this work, and so I appreciate. Just want to call all of them out for their hard work. We're not quite across the finish line, but I do see it right out there on the horizon, and believe we're going to get there. Regardless of the recent challenges we've experienced by Instructure, we talked a little bit about that with cybersecurity. Moving to one LMS solution, Canvas, is going to be great for our students, I believe, across our system. Dr. Merritt, Kathy Davis, and the team have done a tremendous job planning and beginning to execute, rolling out this LMS Canvas solution. This is no doubt going to remove barriers for students and create a more seamless transition from K-12 to community college, and a more seamless transfer between our colleges and from our colleges on to universities. So again, a real step forward with having that consistent solution. We're also making real strides toward the CRM solution, as Dr. Merritt reported earlier. So I'm excited to see that work unfold as we go forward. Finally, we're also succeeding in getting workforce Pell legislation. We have succeeded in getting that passed this year, which has been a monumental step forward. And you heard some today about how we're using grant funds to help supplement that effort to help serve more students. So we talked about, or Alex talked about some with the budget. I'm confident that we're really well positioned with our key budget priorities. So I think we're going to be pleased with what we see when the final budget comes out, with enrollment growth and Propel and Apprenticeship NC all are getting a lot of positive attention. So I'm optimistic we're going to see those all reflected in the final budget. I want to provide a brief update on our continued partnership with the North Carolina University system, particularly as it relates to transfer and academic pathways. Dr. Merritt and his team have met with the UNC leadership Monday, May 11th. As part of our ongoing quarterly planning process, these meetings, which we've sustained for several years with the academic and student services leadership teams, continue to strengthen coordination and transfer and identify new opportunities to better align our systems in service of students. So in addition, around our collaboration also remains active at the staff level, with Dr. Tori Reynolds and Seth Kamen meeting monthly with the UNC system office folks around their transfer leadership to advance the work of the Transfer Advisory Council, support a wide range of transfer focused initiatives. We've heard some concern being raised around the UNC's reduced hour degree initiative. Again, we've had conversation Brian Merritt has with his counterparts. I have with Peter Hans about just making sure as they're exploring some different options there, that we have a seat at the table. We've got to be vital partners for any work that's going to be happening around broadening access and affordability for students who are pursuing any kind of post-secondary degree. So we're going to certainly continue to have a seat at the table there. Encouragingly, many of the proposals that they are getting in, I understand, do have strong alignment with our community college pathways. So we're going to keep engaged there. I want to give a quick update on the Good Jobs WNC. We introduced this a little earlier. As a reminder, the Good Jobs WNC began in the months after Hurricane Helene, when 11 of our Western College presidents met with our friends at the Belk Endowment and told them about what their communities needed to recover and rebuild. With the support of the John M. Belk Endowment, the Leon Levine Foundation, America Achieves, and others, our colleges are now building the labor market data, employer partnerships, and program capacity to put thousands of residents on pathways to good jobs in manufacturing, healthcare, and the skilled trades. All 11 colleges have signed on. Employer engagement is in motion, and each campus now has access to powerful regional data dashboards that surfaces employer demand so colleges can focus on the good jobs available in their own communities. By design, this is a regional prototype, and I believe it can serve as a proof of concept for Propel NC as we move forward with that, with round 2 program investments awarded this summer and the first cohorts enrolled by the fall of 2026. So again, thanks to our philanthropic partners and our employer partners for putting our colleges and our communities at the center of their work. I know they're going to keep this board informed as that Good Jobs WNC project goes forward. I want to take a quick minute to thank the few folks who I believe have contributed significantly to our system's success over these last 3 years. I want to thank all of our senior team. A lot of them are here in the room. Couldn't imagine having done this work without all of you all. You've been fantastic partners and leaders in that work. Our whole system office team, 250 or so strong. Again, a lot of dedicated people doing a lot of hard work. Our 58 presidents and their respective boards of trustees, all the faculty and staff, 30,000 strong across our system foundation and board, all of our business and industry partners, our philanthropic partners, with a specific shout out to the John M. Belk Endowment and Arnold Ventures. Those two really led the charge on showing investment in North Carolina and what that looks like. Of course, our folks across the street at the General Assembly and the governor's office, his team, Governor Stein and team, and all of you all here on the state board. I'm proud of what we've accomplished over these last 3 years working together, and I'll be watching as the system and our 58 colleges continue to soar into the future. I've got just a few parting words of wisdom I'll share with you, and I'll get to my student success stories, the last ones you'll get to hear. So my parting words of wisdom to all the stakeholders I just mentioned, that whole conglomeration of folks. I believe North Carolina has the best community college system in the country. We have a unique governance structure that is not always the most efficient, but it does force compromise and collaboration. And those are two valuable things in a world sometimes of sharp political divides where collaboration and cooperation are not always the corner of the realm. Our system represents a unique blend of state authority and oversight by the state board and the system president and the system office team, with a strong dose of local autonomy and local decision making by our 58 presidents, their boards of trustees, and their employees. I believe it's this very structure, as frustrated as it is sometimes, that is our secret sauce. There are opportunities in front of us where the system can and should play a greater role in taking advantage of our economies of scale, thinking about what kinds of things we can make better statewide purchasing decisions that should save our colleges a lot of money and allow for more seamless sharing of data and resources to accelerate our system and the success that we have collectively. Think about ERP, LMS, CRM, ILS, pick your acronym. There's a lot of those systems that need and call for state oversight. These are all areas where local colleges can benefit from the system's buying power and leadership in coordinating some statewide purchasing. But there are also many other areas where local autonomy is critical for our 58 colleges to meet their local needs, to support their local students, and to support their local businesses and industries. This is a real team sport, folks, including all those partners that I mentioned and more. Board members, just because you all have the authority to pull more decisions to Raleigh doesn't mean you always should. Presidents, just because the idea came out of Raleigh does not mean it's a bad idea if it came from the board or the system office. It's essential that all the stakeholders do what we've been doing, in my opinion, for the last 3 years, which is figuring out how to do this work together. So that's my challenge to all of you. Continue to dig in and embrace the work together and figure out how we're going to collectively move this system forward with our great 58 colleges. I'm confident you are going to get this right. All right, wrapping up. I'm going to wrap up this president's report, as I always do, sharing the student success story. Over the last four years now, every time I've addressed this board, I've wrapped up by showcasing some great student success stories from all across our great 58 colleges. But because this is my last opportunity to do this, I'm going to double down today and do two quick student success stories, both of which are a little bit more personal for me. So Jamal, if you is queued up the first picture here. So I want to tell you about this young lady. This is Monica Torres. It's up there on the screen. She was, I first met her, when I first met her, she was Monica Santos, a third grade student back in Allegheny County when I was superintendent in 2005. Growing up as a biracial child to a single mother in Allegheny County, Monica had more than a few financial challenges to overcome. She first caught my attention as a superintendent because of her prodigy-like musical talent in our Junior Appalachian Musicians program. She actually published her first CD before she got out of elementary school, if you can believe that. I was on the stage there with Monica when she participated in her 8th grade promotion ceremony at Piney Creek Elementary School. Monica went on to Allegheny High School, where she continued to shine and excel academically while also working as a waitress at the local Mexican restaurant. I was there on the stage again when Monica got her high school degree there at Allegheny High School in 2014. So that was the time that I transitioned over to Wilkes Community College, and guess where Monica went? She came to Wilkes Community College as well. So Monica came along there with me, and she started the nursing program at Wilkes Community College. She graduated in May of 2016 with her associate degree in nursing. Once again, for the third time, I had the privilege of being there on the stage as Monica achieved yet another educational milestone, this time at her nursing pinning ceremony. I'll never forget what Monica told me out in the parking lot that day after her pinning ceremony. She told me while she was in high school, she couldn't imagine ever being anything more than a waitress at that Mexican restaurant. Now she was going to go on and be a nurse and have a whole different life than she could ever have dreamed of. So she began her nursing career back in her hometown. Oh my gosh. Look, this is a surprise. I didn't know she was going to be here. Look at you. Oh, wow. Trying to hold it together. Now you're going to really make it hard. Get back up here. So she went back to her hometown and she works in our local hospital for, I think, eight years before the school system set up a clinic through the app healthcare. And now she's back where I went to elementary school, serving in that capacity there. So I'm really proud of what Monica has achieved and continues to achieve, serving now all the folks in the school system, students and faculty and staff, taking care of their healthcare needs. So really proud of this young lady. She got married right after high school. She's been married for 12 years. She's now got an 8-year-old son, Zeke, 4-year-old daughter, Isabella. They both attend Sparta Elementary School where she works, and again where I also attended, and my kids also went. So, you like to say a word up? You put me on the spot. I'm gonna put you on the spot. What do you like to say? Anything to the board?
I just want to say thank you so much for all your support throughout my educational journey. You're a very special person to me, and I'm sure to many other students across North Carolina. And we've just been very blessed to have you as our superintendent and as our president.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. They told me she might be listening online, but I sure didn't know she's going to be here. Yeah, you come up. Yeah. Here. Thank you all. No. All right, wrapping up here. If Reba, if you would come up here to join me for this last part. She didn't know I was going to call her up here. The day's full of surprises, so she loves the attention. Not really, not really. All right, I'll try and get through this one. So, okay. So for my last student success story, I'm going to have Reba here join me. She didn't know I was going to call her up here. But this student success story goes back to 1993 when I was superintendent there, we're living up there in Allegheny. Before I was superintendent, I was a teacher up there. In 1993, when I was teaching, really my second year as a teacher at Allegheny High School, I met a young lady there who had not had an altogether great experience in some of her early schooling, and she wasn't confident she could be successful going straight into university right out of high school. But the more I got to know her, the more I realized she was pretty smart, and I thought she could do about anything she set her mind to. She just needed to build the confidence in herself that I already had in her. So she took classes at Wilkes Community College and Surrey Community College and built the confidence she needed to enroll in a Bachelor of Nursing program at Winston-Salem State University. She excelled there and graduated with her bachelor's degree 2 years later, went on to have a very successful career in nursing, holding various positions over the years in different hospitals, from a particularly memorable stint on a GI unit to a critical care on the cardiac unit. She went on to explore opportunities outside the hospital environment, including roles in clinical research, a position as a health coach, as a COVID nurse travel nurse for a while. And during the height of COVID, she accepted a job as a COVID nurse in Tyson Foods' Wilkesboro plant, when hundreds of sick employees threatened to halt food production vital to our entire country. More recently, she worked as an intake nurse for hospice, helping families navigate one of the most difficult decisions they would ever face, to place a loved one in hospice care for their final days. So if you hadn't figured it out by now, this special student is right here. So this is us, circa somewhere in the early 1990s. I think we were chaperoning a high school prom as a, but that was the two of us near the beginning of our partnership. So Reba wouldn't have had and she's told me this, and I did not get permission to share this. So I'm hoping she's okay with it. I'll find out later. She's told me she wouldn't have had the success she had. She couldn't have gone straight to university. She had to build that confidence with the community college. And that happens with so many of our students. So she wouldn't have had the amazing career she's had, making these life and death decisions as a nurse, impacting thousands and thousands of lives, if she hadn't had that experience with the community college to help launch her path. But she has had this amazing career, been by my side since that first date on October 17th, 1993. And also, of course, helped raise our three boys and support me in all these different roles in the crazy life we've had. So I really appreciate her more than I can say. So sometimes when you're married to a guy who has had all these high profile positions, you might want to shy back from the spotlight a little bit. She doesn't relish the spotlight. She says nearly as much as I do. But sometimes you may not feel like you're seen or heard or appreciated for your own role. So I wanted you to know I appreciate you. I see you. I'd ask the board to join me in supporting and appreciating this one and that one. Let's give them both a hand. So, Mr. Chairman, board members, that concludes my final report to this board. I thank you all for hiring me into this role, working with me over the last 3 years to advance the mission of the system, supporting our great 58 colleges, and most importantly, the 600,000+ students we are all privileged to serve. It's been an honor of a lifetime to serve as the North Carolina Community College System President. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Sarah West, a member of the State Board, and it is my distinct honor to share the wonderful news that Dr. Jeffrey A. Cox has been awarded the Order of the Longleaf Pine by Governor Josh Stein. The Order of the Longleaf Pine is North Carolina's highest civilian honor, reserved for those who have made extraordinary contributions to the state through exemplary service and exceptional accomplishment. It is not given lightly. It is given to those whose work has left North Carolina measurably stronger than they found it. Today, we celebrate one such person. One who has spent more than 3 decades quietly, steadfastly, and profoundly changing lives across the state. Jeff Cox grew up in Allegheny County, a first-generation college student from a small rural community in the Blue Ridge Mountains. His early career journey took him across the state, but when the opportunity came to return home and lead the schools that had shaped him, that made him, that he chose to come back. And that choice to root himself at home and to spend his career in service to communities like it has shaped the lives of hundreds of thousands of North Carolinians who may never know his name or know him personally, but who are better positioned for opportunity because of his work. His career leads like a map of this state's educational landscape. He began as a high school teacher, coaching, mentoring, teaching young people in both rural and urban classrooms. He became a principal, an assistant superintendent, the superintendent of Allegheny County Schools, where he led the district to its highest academic outcomes in history. Then president of Wilkes Community College, where graduation rates more than doubled. Over $21 million in philanthropic support secured, and a $9.2 million endowment was secured to make college tuition free for every eligible high school graduate in the service area. And finally, as the 11th president of the North Carolina Community College System, 58 colleges, more than 600,000 students, and a workforce strategy that has helped North Carolina earn the #1 ranking in the nation for business. What unites all of these chapters is not position, it is purpose. Everyone who has worked alongside Jeff Cox, governors, trustees, superintendents, philanthropists, and students alike describe the same person. Steady, humble, collaborative, always pressing toward better, not for the sake of change, but for the sake of students. Unwavering in his belief that education is the most durable pathway out of poverty and toward community vitality. Jeff, we're so proud to present to you the medal and certificate that denotes you as a member of the Order of the Longleaf Pine, and I will now read the official wording of the award. Reposing special confidence in the integrity, learning, and zeal of Dr. Jeffrey Cox, I do by these presents confer the Order of the Longleaf Pine with the rank of Ambassador Extraordinary, privileged to enjoy fully all rights granted to members of this exalted order, among which is the special privilege to propose the following North Carolina toast and select company anywhere in the free world. And I'm going to ad-lib here and ask Congressman Price and Bill McBrayer if they'd like to join me in sharing this, because I know there are your now fellow Longleaf Pine members. Say the toast together. Here's to the land of the longleaf pine, summer land
where the sun does shine, where the wheat grows strong and the strong grow great. Here's to down home, the old North State. No. That is.
Yes, this was signed by our Governor Josh Stein as of July 1, 2026. Dr. Jeffrey A. Cox, congratulations. You have earned this honor and North Carolina is grateful.
Let's get a picture with that. You get, you know what? Yeah, yeah.
But thank you all. This is overwhelming. I've said enough. So thank you all. It's been an honor of a lifetime. Thank you.
Well, from the Well, congratulations, Dr. Cox. We'll be moving upstairs here shortly to celebrate your career, and the board had a private dinner with him last night, and I don't think I've ever heard more laughing and good times. So we had a great time. I think Reba had a great time. He pulled out some old pictures that may even show up today yet. I'll tell you what. Yeah, but even before his prom, so I couldn't believe he still had them in his pocket. But he was a different looking guy back then. But
A little bit.
still a stud.
Oh,
What? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, a mullet.
it was the 1980s, to be fair. That's the freshman ID for college, and I did not give permission for that to be shared here today.
Hey, you give me anything, it may show up anywhere now, I'll tell you. But I'm shocked he still had it in his wallet. All right, just a couple more business items here, and we'll be moving upstairs. Presidential search update. Let me give you a quick update on where we are in the search. The website is up. We shared the website with the board members. You should have take a look at it. Nathan and team have just done a fantastic job. John, our PR firm that we hired, is doing a fantastic job right now getting the word out across the country, across the state. There'll be an op-ed that'll be dropped here nationally here within the next 2 weeks. You'll see podcasts on the roll that Mr. Kane and I will be producing along with Business North Carolina. We approved our interim today, which hope the word has already spread through the system office. I'm sure it spread 10 seconds after we announced it, but I'm very excited to have Dr. Carver back in here today, and he'll be in here on the 15th for an orientation session and to meet the rest of the staff. So that's the update. Right now, the plan is, in talking with the search firm, we're getting weekly updates. We are getting good interest across the country. The person who accepts the role most likely would not be here until late August, early September. So that's the reason we're bringing an interim in. And we probably will still begin to have a list of candidates here to actually begin interviews within the next 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. So we are pretty much on schedule. And I just wanted to share that with you, and we will keep you updated over the next 30 days as to our progress. Is there any new business needs to come before the board? Okay, my final report is we've done a lot of work together over the last 3 years, and I just looked at the last 30 days. If you listen to the board meeting over the last day, kind of when you put it all together, it's dramatically impactful. I just want to go through a couple of things because of the things we've done in the last 45 days, because it's not the board, it's not Dr. Cox, it's the people in this room, it's the staff that brings all this to life. It's the colleges that bring the story to life. And our community college awards dinner, who would imagine 3 years after we started this, we'd be sold out the Angus Barn, we were sold out again. But the feedback we got is from people that I know have gone there for 30, 40 events is that no event was like our event. And the reason was the colleges brought it to life. It wasn't just a bunch of business people standing around talking. It was people who cared about the community college system. Go to the next one. Community college, and I want to thank Amy Mast because I can't tell you, probably the toughest job was table assignments. I mean, I thought she was going to pull her hair out with table assignments. Second was Community College Day. Again, this was a concept 2 years ago, and we were at Deanna and Alex, where are you? I mean, just phenomenal, the excitement. But what brought it to life was 41 colleges participated. The General Assembly flooded through there. And the excitement and enthusiasm around our colleges right around the time we have a number of requests in, couldn't have been better. And I've got to call out a number of folks who participated. I mean, where's my list here? Board members: Moore, Ottman, Estep, Kane, Farley, Briner, Lang, Yergin, Benson, Hunt, McGinnis. Our 3 Council of State members showed up. I mean, I've been here for 6 years. I mean, and again, the participation of the Council of State's been phenomenal. So we had over 11 board members participate. So our board is bought in, our board is active, and that support was witnessed by the General Assembly and the colleges that participated. The hardest part I had, which probably you found, was you got to a table with a college and they wanted about 30 minutes of your time. You couldn't get around to all 40 of them because, hell, you would have been there 2 days, but just phenomenal. And thanks for bringing your goats. I mean, she had her goats right up front. That was a big drawing card. I want to thank Mary and Dr. Gold. Over the last 90 days, you've put in a lot of overtime preparing us for the search. It's been a long process. We still have a few months to go, but the hard work was done up front, and we couldn't have done it. Where's Mary right now? I mean, no one comes in earlier or works longer than Mary, and she's backfilling a resource in the board office, and she's also Dr. Cox's assistant, but there's nobody like you. I mean, I'm corporate. President Cox was recognized by the trustees and the presidents last month. And he did it was a phenomenal event. So I want to thank the presidents and the trustees for the send-off you gave them at that event. Here's the map that was signed by the presidents and given to the president. So it just shows the love and admiration for the work you've done over your 30 years. Go to the next one, Jamal. The foundation, we talked about it this morning. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, I actually had somebody from another agency in the government call and say, hey, how do we do what you're doing with business and get all this engagement? People are noticing what we're doing. And again, I got to give Dr. Cox all the credit for really getting the foundation going. I mean, you had the relationships. And Katie once told me someday, she says, I don't know if he know what he knows or people just love the way he talks. She said, boy, everybody kind of trusts him when he asks for money. So I really want to thank you for what you've done there. Go to the next one. This is really important. And I asked Nathan to put this on the back cover of Business North Carolina. When I say we're the most important organization in the state, we have the most important people in the state, and it's being recognized by the #1 business publication in the state. And I'm setting a target that we have at least 10 people next year that are the most influential people in North Carolina, and they're from the community college system. And those people are sitting in this room. And I've told you I'm proud of this board. What happened after that gala last week was I had senior business execs saying, how do I get on your board? You guys are doing amazing things. So people are noticing. Go to the next one. Propel NC. Alex, you don't smile much this time of year. You're smiling now. But as I said, you guys and Nathan, I mean, we beat you up pretty bad on this, Alex and Nathan, but you got it done. Again, people want to see what return they're getting. Our funders, the foundations that give us money, want to know what the returns on, what are the outcomes? They hold us accountable. That's what we need to do. And you created a document that holds us accountable for investments in the system. And Nathan, everything, I mean, I'm sitting here, whether it's Gala, whether it's the back cover, this, he's been producing this with two people. Marcy, stand up.
Yeah, yeah.
Who takes all these pictures? It's Martha and Nathan. Stand up.
Power duo.
Go to the next one. State Board Summit. I think I've got it here. I've got so many piles I deal with when I'm. Aaron, yeah, Aaron. We had a State Board Summit last year, and it was at Pendo. Well, we invited Pendo to attend, and the CEO couldn't attend, but two people from Pendo did show up. And what was that gentleman's name? Aaron. So Aaron worked in the coffee shop. He participated in the IDD program. We gave Miss Estep an award and Senator Lee an award and Nancy Guys an award. He participated in a program at Wake Tech, and he worked at the coffee shop. We sat next to his hero, the guy he sees in the elevator every day, Luke Farley. And when he got the next morning after the gala, there he was. He took a picture of himself with his picture with Luke Farley in the elevator. And the executives from Pendo called us and said, hey, we want you back again for your summit next year, whatever you need. So we are building deep, deep partnerships with the work our college are doing and the system office is doing. And Amy is now vigorously working on our 27 summit as we continue to learn from best practices across this country. And the ERP update. I would say, Dr. Cox, we looked at this thing 6-9 months ago, and it wasn't even on life support. It was, where do we bury it? And we sat in a meeting last week where we started talking about outcomes at the colleges, not just 3-letter terms. And most likely, the staff, I'm looking at Bill, and the entire staff across the board, who have helped get it over the line. This was a team sport, and now people are proud of the work we've done, and it looks like we're going to sign off on most of these elements that by the end of June. Am I done? Do one more. Is that it? I'm done. So when you think about it, this is like the last 45 days, and you looked at it collectively, people in this room and the people in the back of the room are doing amazing things. We're doing it better and better. And I want to thank you for being a major part of that, a friend and a leader here at the system, because you listen, you engage, and you act. And that's what I look for in people. So thank you for all you've done. And I want to, again, thank this board for your level of engagement. It's never been higher, and it's recognized. So thank you. Okay. Amy, I think I'm just about done. So with that, any questions from the board before we head upstairs and do our final celebration of Dr. Cox's life and commitment to our state? Next board meeting is July, this is the 19th here. 18th and 19th. It's the next board. So you got June off. We got a month off. So we'll see you then. And we'll see you upstairs in a couple of minutes to continue the celebration of Dr. Cox's contribution.